Guys, I promise real soon, you just have to be a little bit patient. If my curls don't curl like they're supposed to, the answer is very simple. Other people might not know, but you most definitely know what's going on with their hair. This ingredient is one that will help overall reduce and improve your scalp condition. Hey everybody, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Anjana, and I create videos focused on beauty, productivity, and lifestyle. This is a little bit different from the usual type of content that I create. If you've been following along, then you know what I'm talking about. But recently, I've been getting a lot of questions about my hair, how I maintain it, how I grew it so long. So I thought, what better way than to just address them all in one place. And I did post a story on my account asking you all to leave some questions about things that you would like to know about my hair or my hair care routine, and you did not disappoint and you did not hold back either. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So there were a lot of common themes about the questions that I was asked, so I've split it up into different sections, and I'll also list out when these sections start so that if you're interested in a particular section, you can just skip to that immediately and you don't have to just sit through waiting for your question to be answered. So the 4 sections that we're splitting this video into is hair health and growth, hair care routine and habits, hair oiling and traditional care, and personal insights and beliefs. So starting off with the first section is hair health and growth, and these are the questions that I received. How do you control hair fall? What is the diet that strengthens hair? How long did it take to grow your hair? And does weather pattern change your hair pattern? So I personally do have a really sensitive scalp and really dry scalp as well. If I don't care for it properly, I'm going to experience a lot of hair fall along with itchiness, dryness, flakiness, you name it. And while this might seem like a really basic answer, hair oiling consistently is key if you want to solve your problems of hair fall, dryness, itchiness, flaky scalp, dandruff, because in my experience, not only did it improve with my scalp condition, it also made my roots stronger, leading to less hair fall and improved scalp conditions. I will say that it's not only hair oiling that matters or that will solve your problems, because there's also a lot of external factors at play. Personally, for me, I absolutely love eating sweets, and last spring, that's honestly all I was eating. And during this period of eating a lot of sugar and a lot of junk food, honestly, I experienced a lot of hair fall and a lot of breakage, and I also wasn't maintaining a consistent hair oiling routine. So the overall health of my hair was so bad that you could just snap my hair with your fingers and it would just break. And to the naked eye, it might look fine, but you as a person know how bad it is because you're the one dealing with your hair every single day. Other people might not know, but you most definitely know what's going on with their hair and what are the different problems that you're experiencing. So one thing that I did was, in a lot of Indian cooking, we use curry leaves. Not only did I use curry leaves in my hair oil, I also started consuming more of it in the food that I was eating. But at the same time, I was also trying to cut sugar down to a minimum and start eating a little bit healthier as well. And the reason why I specifically highlight curry leaves is because it's anti-inflammatory, so it cools your body down while also promoting more blood flow to your scalp. It improves digestion. It has a lot of protein and beta carotene, which is very, very good for your scalp. And it can make your hair follicles a lot more stronger, which is overall really good for reducing hair fall and improving your scalp health. And lastly, it has a lot of antibacterial and antifungal properties. So if you're someone who's dealing with a lot of scalp infections, dandruff, greasy, oily hair, oily scalp, then this ingredient is one that will help overall reduce and improve your scalp condition. Moving on to how long it took to grow my hair. Last time I cut my hair was April of 2022, and I haven't really done any major cuts since then, except for the fact that I did cut about 7 inches off of my hair a couple months ago, and those 7 inches were full of dead ends, split ends, damaged, dry, literally what you don't want to see in your hair. But I wouldn't really count that as a major haircut because not a lot of people could tell the difference between before the haircut and after the haircut, and I thought it was more of a refresh because I hadn't been trimming my hair, at least the split end, for quite a while. Now, does weather pattern change your hair pattern? Yes. When I was living in India, because of how humid the weather is and the environment is, my hair was a lot frizzier than what it was in the States. And I didn't understand how to properly take care of it because I had grown up having straight hair with minimal wavy hair patterns. So for me, I just thought my hair was just acting up. And I went off the route of frying it off and blow drying it with blow dryers, and hair straighteners. And once I realized that I might actually have curly or wavy hair, that was when I was coming back to the States, and my curly hair started looking more wavy than curly because of the dryness in the air. And in case I happen to confuse you with this little story time, long story short, humidity means that there's more water in the air surrounding you, so you don't need as much product to care for your hair because the air surrounding you already has that moisture. So you're honestly good to go. But in places of less humidity, especially in the winter, you're going to need some more product to hold the curls in your hair while also making sure that it doesn't dry out or cause more breakage than you might already be experiencing. Now moving on to hair care routine and habits, here are the questions that I received. How do you find time to do your hair routines? Do you air dry or blow dry your hair? When was the last time you cut your hair? And what do you do when your curls don't curl like they're supposed to? So I only wash my hair once a week because if I wash it any more frequently, then it's going to strip all the oils, leaving it even more sensitive and more dry than it was before. So personally, what I did and what worked for me is that I picked a day in the weekend, either Saturday or Sunday, as sort of a reset day so that I can thoroughly oil my hair, wash it, and then do my hair care routine afterwards. And personally, with my busy schedule, weekends work best. And I also do associate washing my hair with more of planning for the week rather than middle of the week tasks, if you know what I mean. Now, when it comes to choosing how to dry your hair, you can choose to either air dry or blow dry your hair. I personally blow dry or diffuse my hair. And I also understand why some people might be more willing to air dry their hair because it's less heat, so less damage to your hair. But on the longer run, air drying your hair is really not feasible because it can also make your hair be more damaged and become more prone to breakage over time. And that is something that you really want to avoid. And just in case you missed it in the previous section, last time I did cut my hair, or the last time I did a major cut for my hair, was April 2022, and ever since then I haven't done any major haircuts except for occasional trimming and dead ends cutting stuff. But I did cut off 7 inches of dead ends a couple months ago in mid-August, which was more of a refresh because I hadn't been trimming for a while. If my curls don't curl like they're supposed to, the answer is very simple. Just cry. Okay, but seriously, I'm not one to redo my whole routine just because my curls aren't giving, so I'll make do painstakingly with whatever I have. And usually if that's the case, I'll just leave my hair in a braid or use my claw clips and leave it up in a high bun so that I can avoid dealing with it for the rest of the week until it's time for my next hair wash. I genuinely, unfortunately, do not have a better answer for that question. Time for section 3, hair oiling and traditional care. Here are the questions that I got from you. Is hair oiling actually worth it? Hair oiling scares me. Is there a right or wrong way of hair oiling? Drop the name of the oil in your video. Guys, I promise real soon, you just have to be a little bit patient. I promise I'm not gatekeeping. But anyways, I'm a huge advocate of hair oiling because it has improved my scalp health and my hair health so much. And in fact, the only reason why I was so comfortable with cutting 7 inches off of my hair was because I knew that it was obviously going to come back. Now, I know that hair oiling itself can be a really scary topic, especially with how many misleading and contradictory content there is. And personally, I've just never bought hair oil outside because I don't know what's being put in the products itself. And low-key, I just don't trust it because of how sensitive my scalp is and how sensitive my hair is. And the last thing that I want is for all of my hair to fall out because I used the wrong product. So by using my own hair oil and making my own hair oil, I know exactly what's being used in my products and I know exactly how that will benefit me. So following that same point, I also won't say that there's a right or a wrong way of hair oiling because many people out there just end up doing what works for them. For example, some people will make their own oil at home and then while it's still warm, they'll apply it to their scalp and then store everything else in a bottle or a box. Whereas some other people might infuse it for a longer period of time, strain it, and then use their own hair oil. Others might just buy their own hair oil from outside and just use it directly. So keeping this in mind, there's no one way to oil your hair, but there are some good ways to hair oil and best practices to keep in mind. So I will say that the best way of hair oiling is to first massage your scalp by using your fingers, your comb, your brush, or a scalp massager. Keep in mind that if you're going to use a comb or a brush, don't scrape your scalp because that could literally irritate your scalp more. And the whole point of giving it a massage is to stimulate your scalp and increase blood flow. And the reason why massaging your scalp before oiling your hair is so much better is because by stimulating your scalp, you're boosting blood flow, which means that the blood circulation is going to be a little bit more in the whole scalp area. And by massaging oil into your scalp during this peak blood flow means that your scalp can easily absorb all of the benefits in the oil and actually utilize it a little bit better if you're targeting it for growth, strength, shine, and anything else. We're almost there. Now on to the final section, personal insights and beliefs. So the questions that you asked me were, what do people get wrong about traditional hair care? And why do you like making hair oil? So let's start with the first question of what do people get wrong? Trimming or periodical cutting of hair helps speed up growth. Trimming your hair from time to time is a good thing, but you have to keep in mind that hair grows from your scalp and not from the ends of your hair. So by trimming your hair, it's a good thing because you're cutting off all the dead, damaged, split ends and overall giving that healthier look for your hair, but it honestly doesn't do anything for the growth that you're seeing up here on your scalp, if that makes sense. Washing your hair frequently is bad. It's only bad if your hair is being excessively stripped and completely dry, or if after wash it looks super greasy and doesn't even look like you washed it. If that's the case, stop washing so often and try to space out your wash days and see what could be the problem. Waiting too long before washing your hair is bad. Same as what I said before, but instead of spacing it out, try to push your wash days a little bit more together and see how that helps. The main goal is to find your optimal routine. Dandruff is only due to dry scalp. Dandruff can also be because of bacteria, fungal, or yeast infections in your scalp or excess product buildup. If you're experiencing dandruff after trying out a new product or adding a new product or switching your entire routine altogether, stop. Revert back to your old routine and see if that helps. Either a routine might not be working for you, some other external factors might not be working for you, or a specific product itself might not be working for you. Hair oiling is a single cure for hair fall. Hair oiling definitely helps, but it's not the single cure for hair fall. There are a lot of external factors and internal factors that you have to keep in mind that might also be causing hair fall. Only external hair care matters. As much as I hate saying it, your diet also matters as well. If you're not changing anything internally, but you're only focusing on external, it might not bring you the results that you really want to see in your hair. Now, I did touch on this briefly in the previous sections, but I personally have just never bought hair oil from the outside or from other brands just because I haven't found products that work for me, and I also don't trust outside products, especially with the amount of chemicals and product recalls that we're seeing in the news almost every single day. And personally, because this is just really overwhelming, I make my own hair oils at home so that I know exactly what's in them and exactly what benefits I'm going to get out of them. So that was a mouthful, but if you made it this far, thank you so much for taking the time to ask questions if you're someone who asked a question, and thank you so much for watching this video and sticking till the end. I hope you have an amazing day if it's morning and an amazing night if it's night, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!